All right, let's talk about Jordan Love, Green Bay Packers. It was not a disastrous performance offensively, but it wasn't a great performance offensively here for the Packers as they end up falling short to the Raiders. And it's quite frankly a defense that have really struggled this season, which makes that performance look so much worse. So there were some positives. We're going to talk about the positives from Jordan Love, but there were also some negatives. So let's just get into the good and the bad of Jordan Love here in Week 5 on Monday Night Football. All right, let's start off with this play. It's going to be a zone coverage play. You have Jordan Love going to run a play action. He's going to roll up towards the top of the screen. You have several receivers also going to go up in that direction. The hope is you get linebackers out of position. The fact that he's going to go up towards the top of the screen can also give himself a better angle to make the throw, so that's what you hope happens. Love is going to take the snap right here. He is going to roll up in that direction. He looks up and just doesn't love what he sees. So, okay, hey, running is an option on this play, and this is something that I think that Love has done a pretty good job of pretty consistently so far for Green Bay. When he needs to just, run with the football, he's been effective at it. Look, as you see, Love is going to run up. He is going to, he could have slid earlier, decides not to, slides a little bit later, still doesn't get a hit, but picks up a decent gain. Kind of a weird tumble slide thing, but hey, if you do that, you get more yards that way. So that's obviously helpful as well. And just as a whole, a really good job by Jordan Love to be able to make that happen. But he does this. I mean, Jordan Love's running ability has been a legitimate positive so far. One thing that hasn't been a positive is something like this, where what's going to happen on this play is this just keeps happening. It's time for another example of, my favorite game with Jordan Love. Was it a missed throw or was it a miscommunication? Because this is a game we're playing far too often if you're a Packers fan. I believe this was a miscommunication. I don't believe this was a missed throw, although I can't say for sure because I'm not in the huddle, obviously. But 3rd down and 3 right here. It's actually going to be just a 3-man rush. So 8 players dropping back into coverage. Whatever window there is, it's not going to be a huge one, you would assume. Jordan Love is going to take the snap right here. He looks towards his left, but then looks over the middle, makes this throw, and you see him and his receiver, they're just not on the same page. This is Jaden Reed, who's, kind of staying back. I assume, actually, I think Love is right. Like, I feel like a lot of times it looks like Love is making the correct read. It's impossible to say. We're not, there. Seems like making this throw sort of more over the middle is closer towards the top of the screen is the correct play here. As you see, that's not going to end up being where the ball goes to. The ball goes a little bit further over the middle. And, I don't think that's a missed throw. It's possible it just got away from him. That looked like an intentional decision. To me, it did. At the same time, though, it's like, I feel like every game we're seeing multiple multiple miscommunications from Green Bay. And it's like, you can't keep doing this. You have to stop doing this. You have to get people on the same page. I don't know if it's Love's fault. I don't know if it's the receiver's fault. I don't know if it's the coach's fault. Either way, they have to figure this out. They just do. Also, this play we have to talk about. I actually made a whole video just talking about this play on this channel, but, not everyone checks out every video I make, so I'll break it down quickly here as well. This was a tough interception. It's a zone coverage play, run a play action. Hopefully there's a gap in coverage. You can, throw it there. Watch as Love takes the snap. Love runs this play action, and I actually don't think that he just didn't see the defender because he had an angle. Usually when these things happen, it's because the offensive line is in the way and you just don't have a way to hit your, you don't have a way to see him. Here, though, he does have a window to see the defender. I think he just got tunnel vision. I think he just made his decision pre-snap. It's the correct read. Typically, it's where you want to go. And he kind of just is throwing to his first read before looking to see if his first read is open, which is not good because for for this play, linebackers are what you need to be looking at. You need to be making sure that you throw it to where the linebackers aren't. That's kind of the whole point of this play. On top of this, I think he throws it behind anyway, so also wasn't a great throw. It ends up being right to a defender. That's just not good football. No getting around it. That's a disaster. And, at the end of the day, it's like, okay, things haven't been going well at this point, but you're still, very much in this football game. It's 7-3. You feel okay. Haven't had a ton of possessions. Can't do this. They were lucky that it only turned into 3 points the other way. Going over to this play, this was a great play by the Packers. Really a bad play by the Raiders, but still a good play by the Packers. Hey, like what we always talk about, part of football is taking advantage of your opponent's mistakes. This is going to be a zone coverage concept, and Christian Watson's deeper route, usually just trying to get the safety and hopefully the corner to go deep with him. It's that over the middle route. That's the one that tends to be the most deadly. That's the one that tends to be the route that you look towards, especially with play action, getting those linebackers to move in. This can certainly work. Watch as Love is going to take the snap right here. He runs this play action, rolls out towards the bottom of the screen, and you see, okay, the two Packers players I've circled in yellow, the two Raiders defensive backs I've circled in black, and ideally, okay, two guys to cover two guys. Not that, difficult to think about how they should do this, right? You have each guy cover someone else. And you can do this several ways. Usually the way I see this done is the safety stays deep with the deeper route. The corner goes over the middle. That's typically how I see these get covered. However, both of them step in over the middle, leaving Christian Watson wide open. This is just a straight up blown coverage. That's all this is, which is okay. That's good. But at the same time, for Green Bay, you have to notice this, right? Jordan Love has to realize what's going on. Also, amazingly, that over the middle route still is kind of open. Like, that still could have been a throw right here. So, not the best defense for sure. But give credit to Love for reading it, getting the ball down the field. Watson ended up doing some nice stuff after the catch to pick up even more yards. But it's just really good stuff from Love. And again, to be able to notice this and make something like this happen, very good. Going over to the other interception, this is coming off a sack. I did think there was, too many sacks in this game, something Green Bay has to, work on potentially. But, something like this, it's going to be zone coverage. You have Christian Watson running over the middle. Again, on paper, this can work. But this is kind of why the Raiders made the move to go out and get Marcus Peters, so he can make plays like this. Showing the other angle, because that could just give us a better angle of what's happening. You see how Watson's beginning his cut here, and in a typical scenario, this wouldn't be necessarily a bad situation. You can see why you might want to make this throw, because for Peters, he doesn't know where the ball is going. Hey, if it's a deep shot, you have to be prepared for that. Except you don't have to be as prepared for that because there is a safety here. This is essentially a double team. So because of this, you now can play a little bit more aggressive if you're Peters. And Peters doesn't need an excuse to play aggressive. That's what he does. As you see, he comes in. He's going to be able to bat that ball up, and they're able to get an interception. Same player once again, 41 for the Raiders, able to make that happen. So definitely really good stuff by him. Good stuff by Marcus Peters. Not the best throw from Love, but also kind of one of those unfortunate breaks there. So that's not good. And it's Robert Spillane. That is number 41 for the Raiders. So good stuff by him. So yeah, as a whole, it was a disappointing loss for Green Bay. Definitely felt like this was an opportunity to, if you want to be a playoff team, game you kind of got to win here, I think, against a Raiders team that has certainly some flaws, although, made some nice plays in this game for sure, but it's definitely kind of one that I feel like the Packers are going to wish they had back, I think. And for Love, he's still a work in progress. Like, the good is still the good. He's just still very inconsistent right now, and he has to work on that consistency if he's going to make it in the NFL. He just does. So, yeah, those are my thoughts. What are yours? Let me know in the comments below. Always love hearing from you. And of course, as always, thanks for watching.